10x plus 25. And I know this is nowhere in your packet. I'm just trying to introduce you guys to what I'm about to do. Excuse me? I'm trying to factor this. X squared plus 10x plus 25, if you want to jot it down. X squared plus 10x plus 25. There is no GCF, but I am looking for two numbers that do a certain thing. Okay. I would, yes. That's why I called on you. And then I said, if you want to be a stud, well, how could you write the final answer? Somebody help me factor that one. X squared minus 4x plus 4. 19, I want to help me factor? No GCF. And as we know, we could rewrite it as? Okay. I don't know if you remember what we were, if it came out like this, what we referred to these. These are binomials, trinomials. These are called perfect square trinomials. All right, because both factors came out to be the same. They're called perfect square trinomials. Here's where I'm going today. Can you find me that C value that would make this a perfect square trinomial? I don't know. Could you? Where I factor it, both of these bad boys are the same. They add to 6, but multiply to, don't know. That's what I'm going to ask you for today. That C value. Anybody think they could do it without me saying a word here? Oh, really, huh? Fiona? Oh, 9, okay. Why 9? Because now what are your numbers? Nice job. There's a way to get that 9 other than trying to rack your brain and trying to guess. Okay? Here's how she got the 9. Everyone ready? What was my original B value? 6. She cut it in half. What did she get? And then squared it. One more time. What was my original B value? 6. She cut it in half and then squared it. There you go. That's how you find what the missing C value is for any perfect square trinomial, and that's what is up here. All right, take your B, divide by 2, take half of it. We should be able to fly through these here. Okay, everyone ready? Number 1, you're finding a C value that makes it a perfect square trinomial. And this is, I'm doing this because this is going to get into a new method of solving equations. So here we go. Let's go right around the room here. Number 1 here. I'll go through the process with you. Here you go. Who's got 4? 4? Here you go, Sam. What's your B value? 10. Take half of it. 5, square it. So 25 would make that a perfect square trinomial. Let's keep going. Let's go over to 2 here. A couple of these you may need your calculator with. 5. Who's got 5? Emily, ready? What's your B value? 14 divided by 2. 7, square it. 49. So the C value would be 49 there to make it a perfect square trinomial. All right, let's keep this show on the road. I'll keep asking, but not for too long. 22. 22? Okay, B value. Divided by 2? No, you're right. I just was getting ahead of myself. Negative 4 divided by 2, negative 2, and then square it. 4. Because I'm squaring it at the end, all these C values should be what? Positive. Because you're squaring it. If you square a positive or a negative number, the answer should be positive. So all these C values should be positive at the end. All right, let's go. Let's fly through a couple of these. Again, you may need to break that calculator out, especially when the B value is odd. All right, when the B value is odd, you may need a little help from your calculator to find the perfect square. All right, let's do this. Let's just start going around the room here. I'm not going to ask anymore. Here we go. 3. What's my C value for number 4? Negative. Whoa. C. I'm just going right. C value now. Right to the end now, Emma. It is negative 8. Go ahead. Divide it by 2. Square it. 16. All right, now I got an odd b value. Doesn't matter. You can still divide it by 2 and square it. It'll just be a decimal. 13, what do you end up with for 5?
6.25.
Good job. 6.25. Leave it 6.25, everybody. Here we go. 6. Cut it in half and square it. 7. What do we end up with? Number 6. C equals 20.25. Good job. Anybody having any issues? Let's keep dividing by 2 and squaring. How about 7? 13 again. 2.25. Let's go to 8. 11. Thank you. We're almost home here, guys. Ooh, 28 divided by 2, then square. That's a large number. What do you got for me there? 14. Ooh, look at you. Using your big boy math words. Good job. You've grown. And how about that last one? 23? $1.21. All right, everyone. Nice job. So we're okay finding the C value. Make sure you tell them I said hi in that text message. Everyone good finding the C value? Could be 30 of you in here. I see and hear everything. Any questions? Okay, let me tell you why I need you to be able to do this. Yeah, there he is. That's my boy, by the way, right there. All right. X squared plus 6x plus 3 equals 10. If I asked you to solve that, you guys would move the 10 over and try to factor. All right? But unfortunately, we're not all factoring beasts in here. All right? Our factoring may be at a C level. So I'm going to show you a new method today where you do not have to factor at all to solve these equations. It's called completing the square. All right? Completing the square. This new method of solving these equations with an x squared. So I do not want you today at all to get one side equal to 0. You can use that if you want at another time, but for today I want to show you this new method. All right? First step into completing the square, get your C value to the other side. All right? So now I have x squared plus 6x plus 3. What's my C value up there? 3. It's got to be moved to the other side. Okay? It's got to be moved to the other side. So I'm going to have x squared plus 6x equal to, excuse me? 7. Make sure your C value is to the other side. Now we're going to complete the square. We're going to do the same thing you guys just did on the previous up above in your packet. Complete the square for me. What C value would make x squared plus 6x a perfect trinomial? We're going to do the same thing. What's my B value? 6. 6 divided by 2. Square it. 9. So now that you found out what completes the square, I'm going to go x squared plus 6x plus 9. All right, I'm going to add that C value you just found equals 7, but now there's a problem. Everyone want to see the problem? This is the only time I'm going to do it and make a fool out of myself. Ready? Here's the problem. Anybody see what the problem is other than me making a fool of myself? You had this, and then what did I just add to the left? What's the problem? It's not balanced. I just added 9 to the left side. If you want to make it balanced, add 9 to the right side. All right? Whatever you add to the left, you have to add to the right. Got to keep it balanced. All right, stay with me. That's 16. I guess I lied a little bit. I need you to factor x squared plus 6x plus 9 now. But you're going to see a pattern here where you're not going to have to factor very long. And remember, this is a perfect square trinomial. We made it that way. Hey, 13, what did you end up with? X plus
3.
x plus, okay. I know some of you maybe want to draw the line down. No, that we can only draw the line down when it's equal to 0. I'm not done yet. Rewrite this. Now you're gonna I'm requiring you to be a stud now. Rewrite that for me. X plus 3 all. I found the new c value by dividing b over 2, squaring it. I got 9, added it to both sides, factored. Now here's where I am. And I think you guys can take over from here. How do I eliminate a squared? How do I get rid of a squared? I take the what of both sides? Square root. Everyone ready? Let's take the square root of both sides now. What's left on the left side? X plus 3. I eliminated the squared, so it's just x plus 3. Woohoo, woohoo. What's left on the right? All right. Kids know something around here. Plus or minus 4, yep. When you take it out of the square root, it's plus or minus. Because we knew from the beginning how many answers were we going to have? 2. All right, how do I get those 2 answers now? X plus 3 equals positive 4, and x plus 3 equals negative 4. So one solution will be x equals 1 and x equals negative 7. All right, so 1 and negative 7 for my solution set. And I know right now, I just want to go back to the old way. That was so long and confusing. It was the first one we did. Calm down. All right, 1 doesn't make you great or to even understand it. Questions right now? And I'm hoping as we do a couple more, you're going to pick up a pattern where, I hate to break, you're not going to have to factor it. You're going to know what that number is automatically. I don't know if anybody sees it now. Where else did we see that 3 come from? When we took half our b value. So when you take half your b value, that's the number that's going to be in there. Okay? No, I'll keep going here. Let's roll. Let's get into the homework. All right, here we go. Let's complete the square. Complete the square. First step, make sure what's on to the other side. C value. So what am I moving over? 3. Move over the 3 first. C value, got to be the other side. X squared minus 4x equals negative 3. Next step, complete the square. Complete the square. Half your b value, ready? What was half your b value? Negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. Square it. What's my new c value? 4. So rewrite it. X squared minus 4x plus 4 equals negative 3. It's unbalanced because add 4 to the other side. We're unbalanced. All right, I know I get 1 here. Great. What about over here now? Factor that for me. X squared minus 4x plus 4. What's that factor into? 20, what's that factor into? X minus 2, x minus 2. And it should always be the same because I want to rewrite this how now? X minus 2 all squared equals 1. Hey, where else did we see that negative 2 before? I'm trying to give you guys some shortcuts so you don't have to factor. Where did we see that negative 2 before? It's half your b value every time. Every time. Half your b value will be the number that ends up going in here. All right, how do I get rid of the squared? Take the square root of both sides. You'll be left with x minus 2 equals plus or minus square root of 1. It's just 1. And then here you go. X minus 2 equals 1. X minus 2 equals negative 1. Go ahead and solve for both. One answer, x equals 3, and the other one, x equals positive 1. Yep. How are we doing after the second one? Went a little quicker now, right? Questions? There are going to be some hiccups, which I'll go over before I let you go on your own. There are going to be a couple hiccups. But let me turn over to you guys here. Who's got 6? 6, big decision. Any number here between 11 and 25, other than the one we just did. So 12 and 25, which one you want to do? Okay, 13, everyone. Go to 13. Complete the square. Solve it by completing the square. I know, hey, are we all realizing you could try to factor and do it the way we used to in last week? Factor it, draw your line down the middle. Okay, that's a one way. All right, here's an alternative way. Here we go, 20, first step. Okay, x squared minus 8x equals 9. Now you complete the square. What number should be my new c value? What number should be my new c value up here? 13, what number should be my new c value? 16, yep. Plus 16, make sure we add it to the other side. Plus 16. So that's going to equal, what's that, 25? Okay, for you guys that are at this point, I'm not going to factor that because I already know what's in the squared. It should be what here? X, half your b value, minus 4 squared. If you need to factor it, though, factor it, please, if you don't know where that 4 is coming from. Next step, 19, next step. I'm at this point now. What should I be doing on both sides? Square root both sides. X minus 4 equals plus or minus 25. So x minus 4 equals 25, and x minus 4 equals negative 25. Okay, whoa, nope, don't do any. 5, I got it. You got to catch me there because I don't know why I have a habit of doing that. That's embarrassing. I have no excuse other than being an embarrassment to the math community. Better? I saw the wolves ready to attack as soon as I turned around. I saw the hands ready. They smelled blood. Ready to pounce. Questions? All right, I'm going to skip down to 16 now. 16. And please don't go and fly through it. Let me talk here. You guys that are factoring beasts, let's say you wanted to set it equal to 0 and factor. Let me do that, please. Everyone up here. Everyone up here. Let's say you're like, this guy and his complete the square method, whatever. I'm a factoring beast. I'm going to do it the old way. Okay, got it. So you set it equal to 0. Anybody let me know when you find two numbers that multiply to 9 and add to negative 12. Anybody going to find those numbers? No. And unlike Emma's example, homework example last week, you can't skip it anymore. I need the answers. So everyone agree I can't factor it. So now you have a new method called completing the square if you can't factor it. All right, so let me go back to my original because the c value is already over to the other side. All right, so what will complete the square here? All right, that's what I'm going to ask somebody now. What will complete the square? Take your b value, cut it in half, and square it. What's going to complete the square here? 19 again. Half your b value. Squared. Make sure we balance it on both sides. 36. I'm going to keep going like most of you guys are at this point. You can factor it if you need to. What's going to be inside here? X minus 6, half your b value. Make sure the negative stays there. equals, now little something on the other side you see is what? What's the number over there? First time that number has not been a perfect square. We're still going to handle it fine. Here's everyone ready here, because I know some of you are getting a little nervous here. Still do what on both sides to get this rid of the squared? Still square root both sides. Take a look, everybody. I'm going to get x minus 6 equals, I'm going to keep it like that, but it's still plus or minus square root of 45. Still going to keep the plus or minus on the outside. Okay? What are my two answers going to come from? X minus 6 equals the square root of 45. And where's the other one going to come from? X minus 6 equals, hey, make sure that negative is clearly on the outside, because your calculator may blow up if you try to put it on the inside. So now we're going to go, because it does say, if possible, if necessary, round to the nearest tenth. So everyone on their calculator right now, square root of 45. Make sure you're completely out, plus 6, because I'm going to move that 6 over by adding. So everyone try it out right now. The square root of 45 plus 6. And make sure the plus 6 is clearly on the outside of it. And it said round to the nearest tenth. So this one will round to, well, in this one in particular, 12.7. Anybody need help here? Square root of 45, add 6 to it. Hey, tell me, are we getting 12.7? Okay, over here now, negative. Again, that negative has to be on the outside of your radical, because if it's on the inside, you're going to get an error. Can't take the square root of a negative number until 11th grade. And this one will be, to the nearest tenth, negative 0.7. Please ask me now if you're not getting those values. On you guys, questions? There's one little thing I got to warn you about, and then I'll let you go on your own. Anything here? So you factoring B, sometimes you won't be able to factor, so you are going to have to rely on completing the square. All right, so know it, please. Last one, I'm going to go to the next page here, and I'm going to do number 26 with you. Open it up to you guys. What's so different about 26 than the last bunch we've done? Ooh. Well, I got to move things around first, right? Okay. So you want to get the 8x over? Okay. So you have 4x squared minus 8x equals 24. There's still something that's major difference between what we've been dealing with. There's not a 1. And if you are completing the square, there's got to be a 1. You start completing the square when the a value is 1. So what do you suggest I do here? Divide everything by 4. If you're going to divide this one by 4, everything gets divided by 4. You cannot complete the square until the a value is 1. All right? It is not possible until the a value is 1. So divide everything by 4, and now what we'll have? X squared minus 2x equals 6. Now I can complete the square. Okay, now I can complete the square. It cannot be completed until the a value is 1. Please keep that in mind. Can I leave you guys to go on your own, or do you want to finish this one together? Finish this one? Okay, here you go. X squared minus 2x, what's my new c value to complete the square? 25, what's my new c value? 1, nice job. Which means I have to add 1 to the other side. Don't forget about that beast. Okay, something equal to 7. Factor if you need to. Factor if you need to. If you don't understand what this shortcut is. What was half your b value? So x minus 1. Again, if you don't know where that's coming from, factor the darn thing. You'll see it clearly. Take the square root of both sides. We have what now? X minus 1 equals plus or minus the square root of 7. Okay, so you'll have x minus 1 equals, minus. X minus 1 equals radical 7. And x minus 1 equals negative radical 7. Add 1 to both sides. I have on this one here x equals 3.6 to the nearest tenth. And if you guys, and in all seriousness, if you need help with rounding, let me know individually. All right, if you need help with rounding, nearest tenth. And then what about over here? X equals negative 1.6. Do you guys know when you're pretty much going to get decimals as answers? If what you're taking the square root of is not a perfect square, you're going to get decimal answers, right? If it is a perfect square, you'll get some whole numbers. All right, go ahead. You guys know what my deal is. You get this homework completed. I won't say anything to you tomorrow. You just get the assignment done for tomorrow. But if you don't complete it fully with showing work, got to send you off to the side to complete it tomorrow, which is going to make a major dent in trying to get the vacation homework done.